Hi everybody, it's me again. So great to see you. Um, so, um, guess what? I just saw the greatest thing at the movie theater. I just love it. It is the DuckTales PSA. DuckTales! Ooh. Yes, they had I mean, it's already great enough that I love DuckTales, and now they're rebooting it by the same people who did Gravity Falls. Oh my gosh, it's awesome! And the PSA just, I was laughing. It was the best thing that had come out in the movies that day. As for the movie itself, the popcorn wasn't that great. The soda was great, but not the movie. I saw the Emoji movie, and that PSA was the absolute best thing in the entire theater, not counting some of the great trailers. But the Emoji movie was predictably stupid and pointless. I just wanted to see it for myself, see what the big fuss was, how this could possibly get a lower percent rating than Food Fight on the Rotten Tomatoes. And for some reason it keeps shifting from 6 to 8 to 7%. I don't know where it's going to stop. We'll know later. So basically, what's the story? And I'm just going to say, spoiler alert, but I'm not sure if you care. Hey, if you do, okay, stop the review. If you don't, just keep going. So, anyways, Gene is a meh emoji, and his whole purpose is to be meh. And well, apparently he can't be that way because he has all these different expressions, which is not really explained that well. Even the explanation that they give later is not really that great, because it raises a whole bunch of questions, which I'll get to later. So one day, while he is still on Alex's smartphone, he makes the wrong face, and thus setting the whole world, the whole phone world into chaos, and Alex himself is unable to ask a girlfriend out to the date, and so he teams up with High Five and Jailbreak, who is a hacker. For the most part, even before this movie came out, I always felt like the emoji toys were absolutely overrated. And this movie absolutely proves why. I mean, if you like the emoji toys, great. I found them overrated. And this movie just clarifies it for me. Apart from the fact that this movie rips off 8 other movies. The first 2 you obviously have already, no, first 3 you've already said it before. It's ripping off Wreck-It Ralph, Inside Out, Lego Movie. Yes, it's ripping off those movies, obviously, but it's also ripping off the B movie, Chicken Little, Through the Looking Glass, the Tim Burton one, Food Fight, and then of course Toy Story. If you don't believe me that that this is not a ripoff of Toy Story, just look at what the director had to say. Here it is on Wikipedia. The film was inspired by Tony Lenodis' love of Toy Story. Wanting to take a new concept, he began asking himself, what is a new toy that hasn't been explored? Just because toy movies are popular does not mean that some of them are not going to fail. Yes, the Lego movie seemed like a complete sellout, but it had excellent writers and directors to take it to a whole new level. This movie does not really. Even the writer and director, I mean, I feel sorry for him because you know what other projects he's done? He's done The Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt as a storyboard writer. So he can do great movies at times, but how did he direct this flop and write this flop? Well, I also should, well, before I get further into what else is wrong with the movie, I will talk about two things I liked about the movie. Yeah, just two. One is at least one joke, or some of the background jokes. My favorite background joke is the Christmas tree jumping up and down going, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and, one of the emojis is like, it's still September. I, why wasn't there more of that? That was actually hilarious. And the other thing I kind of liked was the background animation. I don't have much for the emoji animation because it's all pretty much the same. Just the emoji just the emoji body with arms and legs. But sometimes the background animation does look fascinating. And that's it. That's it with the good stuff. Now, the main problem. The movie, of course. It's awful. I, I don't know if it ranks lower than... no, it does rank lower than Food Fight. Because, while Food Fight was probably ripping off 3 movies, this one ripped off 8. And, one of the movies that we keep saying it rips off is Inside Out, and, well, let me give you the difference between Inside Out and this movie. With Inside Out, if something went wrong in Riley's mind, it looked plausible. So when she lost joy and sadness, her feelings became stilled. So it kind of showed, and it was part of like growing up and experiencing new changes. Whereas with the Emoji Movie, if something went wrong on Alex's phone, it was jumping around, and even showing off apps that really were had no reason to show up, except to just embarrass him in front of his classmates, in front of his girlfriend. Which is another problem. I don't know about you, but, one of the big issues in the movie is that he wants to ask this girlfriend out on a date. Why not just walk up to her and say, hey, you want to go out on a date with me? Or if you have to text, write it. You don't need an emoji to say that. In fact, there's not really much of an emoji to show that. A met emoji is not going to show it. A heart emoji is not going to show it unless you're wanting to say, oh, I love you. But that's about it. You don't need emojis to talk to people. They're great illustration opportunities, but, words. You could just tell her, text her. She's even 2 desks away from you. You could just whisper it to her. Hey, do you want to go on the dance? But it's padded out just to make the emojis look important and for absolutely no reason. And, also the cliches are absolutely noticeable. Like the unsupportive father and the very cruel town just to make our heroes look great. That's where the ripoff of Chicken Little comes in, where everybody, including the parents, are just not supportive of our main characters or our main heroes, making him look absolutely unlikable and making everybody look unlikable. And I'm not talking about just the villain. Yes, there's a villain. I mean everybody. And also the love interest. Oh gosh, I threw my hands up as soon as they revealed that the hacker is a princess. Because ripping off 6 Disney movies was not enough for you. You had to go and throw in the princess cliche. It was just... I wanted to barf at that one. And, also the jokes. I mentioned before that the Christmas tree joke was great. It really was. And also, puns are my second language, so I know what a good pun is and a bad pun is, and oh my gosh, the puns that they focus on are cringeworthy. I don't like these puns at all, and they don't work. They're either half-baked, shoved in your face, or just jumping up and down screaming, I'm funny, I'm funny, I'm funny, I'm funny. And most of them revolve around the poop emoji. Oh, you're too soft. Or, you stink. Or, should we wash our hands? We're number 2. Is that supposed to be funny? What's the punchline? What's the setup? Is it because, oh, he's poop? Even Happy Madison would know how to make a poop joke funnier than that. And I can't believe I complimented Happy Madison for this. And the final conflict, oh gosh, not only do they have some of the characters doing a complete 180 on their character arc that come from nowhere, have no development, except for maybe the last 30 minutes, but that doesn't really count. But it also has this moment where all of the phone is going to be destroyed and annihilate everybody. And then Alex restores his phone just as the meh emoji is the last one standing. Does that movie remind you of anything? Oh yeah, The Looking Glass. So you ripped off Tim Burton's The Looking Glass cop-out ending. Congratulations. It was just... Am I going to say that this is the absolute worst movie to come out of 2017? I don't think I could go that far. Because there probably are worse. And, hey, Nutjob 2 is coming out. A sequel nobody asked for. Just like nobody asked for the Emoji Movie. But, as far as the animation goes, yes, this has got to be one of the worst animated movies to come out in 2017. And I have no doubt that this is probably going to get a Razzie Award. If there is a Razzie for animated movies. If you like the movie, good for you. I'm glad that you do. I just personally found it stupid. And just... You don't need emojis to speak out your mind. They're not that important. And even texting is not always that important. I have nothing else more to say except here's the scoring of Emoji Movie. Siskel, Ebert, and for me,